Good evening. Sorry, I'm running a little late tonight. Thank you for tuning in to season 2, episode 16 of the Front Line Blacc News. I'm your host, Che and Kruma. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. And our West Coast correspondent is also joining us, Shabaka Sankori. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, of which I'm the co-host of. And on tonight's show, we'll be discussing several things. We'll be discussing Tangibles 2022. You know, that's a trademark here on Frontline Blacc News. Um, the next thing that we will be discussing is Jayland Walker killed in Akron, Ohio by police. They shot this brother over 60 times. Biden giving reparations to Cubans. R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years in prison. Family of Emmitt Til seeks arrest of Carolyn Bryant from 1955, outstanding warrant. Brittany Giner Court Trial in Russia begins. And Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So I will get us started. This is the year and a decade of tangibles. We are demanding something tangible for our vote. So any politician that is seeking your vote, including myself, because I have officially filed for mayor of Denver, Colorado for the 2023 municipal election, and I will be the next mayor of Denver in 2023. And including myself, any politician that's seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote, Black family. Stop just voting just to be voting. Stop just voting because the white-owned media told you to go vote. Vote because you have an agenda and a cause. And as Shabaka's hat says, reparations now. We are owed $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people in 2022. So this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, Black family. So I want to go over what Tangibles 2022 is all about. It's based off of Tangibles 2020. So 2 years ago, brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed out of LA, Los Angeles, California, came out with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. And we've been running with that for the past 2 years. So I'm just going to give you all a refresher course on what Tangibles 2020 was all about and how it's still relatable here in 2022 with the midterms foot. It just had the primaries nationwide, and they really think that we're going to go out here and vote for these Democrats, and they got another thing coming. So this is Tangibles 2020, Black family. And since it's Tangibles 2022, we're going to change it to the midterms opposed to the presidential elections. So the 2022 presidential elections, midterm elections are coming up. And foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms. Lumping foundational Black Americans into groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this midterm cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle down secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. So, Black family, that's what we've been doing for the past 2 years. We've been spreading this hashtag far and wide. And every year, the hashtag changes. Tangibles 2021. And now, since we're in the year of 2022, it is Tangibles 2022. So, thoughts, Lady Che, on Tangibles 2022.
Yeah.
And thank you to our viewers.
I always say hold your vote like you hold your swiller. Um, like you hold everything dear to you. Uh, when we vote for what is tangible to us specifically. If it doesn't benefit you, don't vote. Don't vote. I know there's a lot of controversy in the news and whatnot. And, we're going to address, but sorry, I have to speak louder. Um, if it doesn't benefit you, there's no tangibles for you or your family, specifically Black family. Don't vote. There's no use in it. They've obviously given reparations to every single facet of people except for Foundation Black Americans and descendants of chattel slavery. That's fact. I mean, this whole year they've just been dishing out money and nothing's come to you. You know what I mean? I said that in jest. Um, you're not angry. I don't know what's gonna make you mad. I don't know what's gonna make you want to act. What's gonna make you want to do something. Um, we're gonna do something here in our city. It could be tangible. We already know there's gonna be indoors and there's outdoors. We're outdoors. Change is coming. Now it's like a dose of bad medicine you don't want to take, but you're gonna have to because power is taken and not given. Sometimes you just gotta take this shit from them. They've abused it, benign neglect. I mean, we can go on about atrocities all day, including what we're gonna talk about tonight. So, don't get caught up in the motherfucking rigmarole and the propaganda. It's not for us. It's a distraction. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay Black first. Stay dangerous, and only fucking vote for fucking tangibles for you specifically. Specifically, not everything and Black people. It's Black first. Cut the
Yes.
check. Reparations. What's the study? What is there to do? You know what I mean? Every day they take time out, tax them, go after it. Fuck it, why not? What is there left to lose? What can we possibly lose? You know what I mean? You're worried about your comfort? Look outside. Gas is fucking $6. You're worried about food? There's nothing out there. What are you worried about? We're at the fucking end. We're at the edge. Now we just have to take it. Take it. And don't be fucking scared. There's nothing to be scared about. More fear in the afterlife than there is right now. You're worried about the fucking law? Fuck them. You're worried about politics? Only vote for what's tangible for you. You got something you want to say? Reach out to your person who's running for you. You know what I mean? Talk to them. Get involved. Or don't. Don't complain when don't complain. Because you didn't get involved. And don't think that you're going to ride off the backs of the fucking Black grassroots with your own fucking bullshit after they do the hard work. And you get to benefit from it. Because that won't happen either. You know what I mean? You weren't on board. You weren't with us then. You're not with us now. You won't be with us later. That's just a fact. You get left behind. You're bad luck. Get a book. Read these fundamentals, boys and girls. Get on code. Get on fucking code. It's dangerous out there. Not only is it dangerous, but we're surrounded by fucking distraction after distraction after distraction, and everybody's fucking agenda is trying to be put onto our agenda. It's not Black agenda. You already know. You don't. If you're not aware, tuned in, and listening to the new Black media, and you're not with it, then you're stuck in prehistoric times. You're gonna be left behind. Sorry for your bad luck. It won't be us though. Tangibles.
Yes, demand something tangible. Our West Coast correspondent, what are your thoughts on Tangibles 2022?
Absolutely, unconditionally, and completely. The reason being is because the wealth that we have produced over the transatlantic slave trade of coming into this hemisphere, under these barbaric and inhumane conditions. And just like I saw a brother post up on Facebook, well, as you know, on July 4th, 1776, we were still slaves. You see what I mean? You say, yeah, so you got to look at that. Then we have to look at is that if we're going to go out here, and I'm talking about black folks on a collective, just like they do on Christmas, just like how they do on Labor Day, you know what I'm saying, on Easter's, where they're taking their hard-earned money and with that and how much of a jolt it is to the U.S. American economy. You see?
Yes.
And that's one way to prove that tangibles are needed. Okay. If black folks, it came together on a collective basis like they did in 1955 on a national basis, you see what I mean? And they broke the Montgomery Bus Company in 1955, then you could break all these other crooks, not crooks, but those, who mean us no good.
We got a
You
troll,
say,
y'all. We got a
well,
troll.
what's he trolling?
She goes by Dreams 1997. Says, Lord have mercy.
Right.
We see you, little eyeballs. Thanks for tuning in. Carry on, brother Shabaka.
Okay, wait a minute. They said, Lord have mercy.
Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, they said preach
Okay.
it. I guess they're agreeing with you, so go
lucky.
ahead.
You thought we
Okay, great. Beautiful. Okay, that's a well-wisher right there. And thank you so very, very much. Checking us out here, Front Line Blacc News. Okay, so what I was saying is
Carry on.
controlling economical infrastructures. This is why you will see up on my post about power grids, logistics, for trucking and stuff like that. Agriculturally, with the emphasis now being on grow our own food and keep it natural, because with all this atomic radiation, what the fuck it is, whatever this stupid shit that they're putting off there, and these products and byproducts, you see what I mean?
I should talk about the trucks. Are you seeing the
Say that again now?
Shabaka?
What's going on with the trailers?
With the boat, the trailers with the boats, they're carrying all the cargo.
Talking about the cargo trucks.
Are they no longer there?
Okay, now traveling in LA's traffic, you know what I'm saying? That's all you're seeing is these semis, hauling these cargo containers, bum rushing the harbor back and forth. And then when I did the live feed from Manhattan Beach, discussing, the black family whose property was taken from them from under eminent domain, I saw a few of those container ships and oil tankers off the coast of California going into Palos Verdes, which is near the port of Los Angeles. You see what I mean? And that's near Long Beach and what have you. And then, of course, as we all know, up in the Bay Area is the Port of Oakland, where they have all the cargo containers coming in and what have you. And as we always have emphasized, is that a lot of the raw materials, come from the continent, with all this technology and what have you. No need to repeat what we said before. Is stolen in raw material or preformed on the continent. Then it goes into Asia where they farm it. You see what I'm saying? And then they ship it off over there to Silicon Valley. I mean, I remember one day years ago, I was looking at the Golden Gate Bridge off the coast of California, by the Golden Gate Bridge facing the ocean. And man, you could just see, those cargo containers coming in there, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 at a time.
So are they still there?
No, what I'm saying is that this is how that they transfer, the goods that they sell, like all your laptops and cell phones and stuff like that, Google cars, all that shit. You see what I'm saying? And Silicon Valley, all around it, Alameda County, Santa Clara County, San Jose, Mountain View, San Francisco, of course, San Bruno, where YouTube is headquartered at, where Google is headquartered at, down there in Mountain View, California. I believe that's near Stanford University. They refer to the city of San Jose, California as the capital of Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
and the point being is, with all that wealth going through there, and I believe off of rough estimates out of the past few years, only black folks only making up 3-4% of those in the workforce. With that,
yeah, well, okay.
So therefore, the people who are designing this shit, you see what I'm saying, who came up with this, they, are reinforcing the American tradition of hatred towards black people. And this is why we got to have the tangibles 2022. And it's on a continuum, as Brother Paris was outlined. Started in 2020, it's going all the way up to 2100 and beyond if necessary.
Yeah, well, Lady Che wants to know is if they still have the cargo containers out there in the ocean.
They couldn't empty them. There was problems, and they had it right at the beginning. COVID time.
Oh, okay. What was happening was, from sources that I came across, is that when the cargo containers come there, the workers refuse to either unload the products, or the drivers are denied the contracts to carry them. Say, in other words, what it is how various goods and services and capital equipment and consumer goods and whatnot. They're playing chess with it now. You see, they're playing, basically what the fuck they're doing is that they are playing chess with the essential products and services and durable equipment that you leave to maintain, life and society as well. But on our platform for over the past 5 years at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, which is sponsored by frontlinecampaign.org, and also too, we are the West Coast correspondent for Frontline Black News. Definitely check out our like page for past episodes and material. Also too, check out some of our archives on Blog Talk at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. You can Google us there and leave us a comment. And also, too, our show that we got coming up is called The 4th of Their Lives. Okay, it's coming up this Saturday, or the 4th of Sunday, I believe. No, Monday. Yeah, and it's going to be, in the early afternoon in the east, and I think in mid-morning in the west, because, as you know, everybody's going to be going ripping and running and what have you. But they can listen to us, if they got their cell phone while they out, having a good time driving back and forth. Hey, click us on. Follow us at Twitter at Shabaka, capital EXP. Check out our archives. Definitely check out the Revolutionary Agenda. Definitely check out Frontline Black News here on StreamYard with the host, Brother Che, and crewman Jesse Paris is running for mayor of Denver. He is the only politician, ladies and gentlemen, that I will be voting for. I haven't entered a poll place in over 20 years. Okay, but as he stated, is that, for any politician, demand, something in return for your vote.
2023 will be the first.
Sure, so yeah, tangible. Something to build up the quality of life, tangible. Something to produce more jobs, tangible, and to build black businesses in particular. Because all these other groups here, even here in Los Angeles, California, get some black talent, run with it.
Yeah. So
Universal Music Group gives Lil Wayne $100 million, but they're about to make $100 billion off of it.
Yep. Exploitation.
Oh, to the utmost. But however, if he's got $100 million, then hopefully, it's his money. I can't tell that man what to do with his money, but invest 10 million or something like that. Often, the health centers, homeless shelters, strictly for us, you see, because we can't do shit for nobody else for at least the next 50 years is because we, Black families, as always stated at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, okay, is that we are in a state of emergency.
Yep. We sure
as a people. I mean, man, I'm talking about when they murdered this man, when they put 60 bullets in this man, the police, that's beyond overkill.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get to next, Shabaka. So,
yes, sir.
Thank you for that. So our next topic, Black family, is, as Shabaka just alluded to, they just killed another unarmed Black man, this time in Akron, Ohio. The brother's name is Jayland Walker, age 25. He was stopped at a traffic stop, and they said that he fled from the traffic stop, and they shot this brother over 60 times. So I'm going to play the video. Fair use, YouTube.
To the growing outrage in Akron, Ohio, the family of a young Black man, Jayland Walker, demanding answers after he was shot and killed by police. Protesters taking to the streets today after reports that the 25-year-old was struck multiple times. Police say he initiated a car chase, and his actions led them to believe he was a deadly threat. Akron canceling its 4th of July celebrations this weekend following Walker's death. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Tonight, protesters marching through the streets of Akron, Ohio, demanding answers in the fatal police shooting of 25-year-old Black man Jayland Walker.
I grew up with him. Man, he don't deserve this at all.
Walker was shot by police early Monday morning after officers tried to pull him over for what his family says was a minor traffic violation.
We'd like to know why he shot down like a dog. Simple as that. Why is that necessary?
Authorities say when Walker didn't stop his vehicle, officers chased him for several minutes. They claim a firearm also discharged from inside his vehicle. And when the car slowed, police say Walker then ran away into a parking lot, adding actions by the suspect caused officers to perceive he posed a deadly threat to them. And in response, officers discharged their firearms, striking the suspect. Our Cleveland affiliate, WEWS, says preliminary medical examiner records show there were more than 60 markers indicating defects on Walker's body and multiple gunshot wounds to his face, abdomen, and upper legs. Tonight, Pastor Roderick Pounds says he saw the police body camera of the shooting.
I heard one pastor friend of mine liking it to the likes of an Emmitt Til type of barbarism. So uncalled for.
Walker's family lawyer denies Walker ever fired a gun during the chase, but says police told him that a gun was found inside Walker's car. Meanwhile, body camera footage of the shooting is expected to be released tomorrow. Whit?
And we know you'll be following it. Andrew, thank you.
Likes of an Emmitt Til type of barbarism. So uncalled for.
Tonight, Pastor Roderick Pounds says he saw the police body camera of the shooting.
I heard one pastor friend of mine liking it to the likes of an Emmitt Til.
Officers chased him for several minutes.
He shot down like a dog. Simple as that. Why is that necessary?
Authorities say when Walker didn't stop his vehicle, officers chased him for several minutes. They claim a firearm also discharged from inside his vehicle. And when the car slowed, police say Walker then ran away into a parking lot, adding actions by the suspect caused officers to perceive he posed a deadly threat to them. And in response, officers discharged their firearms, striking the suspect. Our Cleveland affiliate, WEWS, says preliminary medical examiner records show there were more than 60 markers indicating defects on Walker's body and multiple gunshot wounds to his face, abdomen, and upper legs. Tonight, Pastor Roderick Pounds says he saw the police body camera of the shooting.
I heard one pastor friend of mine liking it to the likes of an Emmitt Til type of barbarism. So uncalled for.
And Walker's family lawyer denies Walker ever fired a gun during the chase, but says police told him that a gun was found inside Walker's car. Meanwhile, body camera footage of the shooting is expected to be released tomorrow.
And we know you'll be following.
Okay. What were you saying, Lady Shay?
What day was this filmed?
This was last week.
So is there
Well, it'd be last week here in an hour.
so is there body footage to go with it? Like
They're
they
saying
said?
it will be released. It hasn't been released yet.
So they're like behind schedule then. It's like they said by tomorrow. That's already a week. Like 6
This
days.
happened on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. So they're slacking still. That's what I meant. It happened on Monday. Drew said there'd be video footage on Tuesday. We're now on Saturday. Do the math. I want to say this though. On the camera, if he did, if a gun hypothetically, I can't believe that shit. If hypothetically went off, there'd be a flash in the car and like swerving and all kind of extra crazy shit. That shit is loud.
Okay, what was the thing that caused the police to focus on attention on this young man before all this happened? I mean, was the car he driving in bad? License tags, headlights were out or what? I mean, what was the probable cause of the police accosting this young man in the first place?
Driving while black.
Aside from that, what did they give a reason?
Okay.
No, they didn't give a reason. They
They
pulled him over, drove off, they chased him, and when they got to the last stop, he got out the car and ran in the parking lot, and they shot and killed him in the parking lot.
Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Why he ran off.
And one more time, black family.
I'm sure people want to see it. That shit was really quick. Like all about
Okay, so here's the replay of the video.
Yeah, we'll be quick.
We turn now to the growing outrage in Akron, Ohio. The family of a young black man, Jayland Walker, demanding answers after he was shot and killed by police.
I'm going to play this one more time.
Yeah, it was
Shout out to the viewers.
That's what they wanted it to. Inquire about it.
Protesters taking to the streets today after reports that the 25-year-old was struck multiple times. Police say he initiated a car chase and his actions led them to believe he was a deadly threat. Akron canceling its 4th of July celebrations this weekend following Walker's death. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Tonight, protesters marching through the streets of Akron, Ohio, demanding answers in the fatal police shooting of 25-year-old black man Jayland Walker.
I grew up with him. Man, he don't deserve this at all.
Walker was shot by police early Monday morning after officers tried to pull him over for what his family says was a minor traffic violation.
We'd like to know why he shot down like a dog. Simple as that. Why is that necessary?
Authorities say when Walker didn't stop his vehicle, officers chased him for several minutes. They claim a firearm also discharged from inside his vehicle. And when the car slowed, police say Walker then ran away into a parking lot, adding actions by the suspect caused officers to perceive he posed a deadly threat to them. And in response, officers discharged their firearms, striking the suspect. Our Cleveland affiliate, WEWS, says preliminary medical examiner records show there were more than 60 markers indicating defects on Walker's body and multiple gunshot wounds to his face, abdomen, and upper legs. Tonight, Pastor Roderick Pounds says he saw the police body camera of the shooting.
I heard one pastor friend of mine liking it to the likes of an Emmitt Til type of barbarism. So uncalled for.
And Walker's family lawyer denies Walker ever fired a gun during the chase, but says police told him that a gun was found inside Walker's car. Meanwhile, body camera footage of the shooting is expected to be released tomorrow.
And we know you'll be following it. Andrew.
They didn't pull over and they chased him.
Okay.
That was his gun and they didn't put it there in the first place. You know what I mean? But this is like so much dragged out.
Dreams 99.7 said, I read that he had a tail light out, but MSN might be just saying that. Broken tail light,
Mhm.
60 plus bullets. And also, what they're not telling us, Black family, is like a week prior to this, there was an incident where a white kid was jumped on by like 3 black men in Akron, Ohio. And we believe that this is retaliation for that, because they had a protest outside of one of the buildings in downtown Akron, protest assault, talking about justice for Ethan something, for the white boy. Yeah. No, this is something else, but
Okay.
Either way, it's all bad.
so
they got to come off like, what is that? Was it 8 officers? 9 officers?
8.
8 officers. That's 8 body cams plus the freeway and all the cameras that were surrounding that, plus the car cameras. It's a lot of footage.
Yeah.
And then watch, it's just all it's gonna all be that they're all at fault. And where are they at now? Where are the police at now? Questions.
Probably on desk duty. You know, they don't never get fired. They just get hired. And all they're going to do is put them on administrative leave
60 rounds
until the investigation is over.
60 rounds at 89 cents a bullet.
Yeah.
Roughly. Hollow points too.
This is beyond overkill.
$1 something a bullet. 60.
I mean, that there's only one word that I could describe it in.
Execution.
It's straight savagery.
A lot. And they killed
Yeah, I would say straight savagery.
Face.
Oh yeah, Dreams. I heard about that. Yep, a white man in Kentucky killed 3 cops in the canine, and they didn't kill that man. They let him walk out the house. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's white privilege.
Yes.
And he killed 3 police officers.
And the canine.
Yeah, that's an officer. That's 4 officers.
Yeah.
The canine is a 4th officer.
So he killed 4.
And they took him into custody alive.
Yeah. Yeah, they always kept them with kids' gloves, like very gently. They don't want to mess them up, you know. Whereas everybody else gets on the floor, they get knees in them, they get thrashed all around, they get thrown in the van, they're not properly secured, they break their neck, they fall down, they bang them on purpose, they shoot them, they extra tase them, throw them in water, until they will fall in water and die. That was just recently too.
Wow.
Somebody got tased and fell over a bridge and died from the water in the tase.
Well, when you hit with a taser, that's nothing but electricity, you know.
Yeah,
real high voltage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
You see, so you mix it with water, well, you know what's going to happen next, right?
You're going to get electrocuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. That was like murder right there. Automatically.
Yeah.
Frightened that dude. You get water, and he said electric rods and all this stuff. Like, they only talked about that for 2 whole days. If that, maybe I saw three regards to it. That's a sad state of fucking affairs, family.
Yeah, but getting back to Jayland, some prayers go out to his family. This is very unfortunate.
Of course,
They
indeed.
didn't have to do this. They did not have to do this. His brother was running away. He was fleeing.
Yeah.
Have to unload no damn 60 rounds into him. 60 plus rounds. That's
like
beyond
overkill. 8
overkill.
officers, and none of them were in shape enough to catch anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't pose no threat to them.
Yeah, he was running away, but they're not in shape enough to run and get him. Instead,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They could barricade him, could have did anything else. It was like 15 different things you could have did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a gang of bullets. Unnecessary now. Good.
Sebastian,
Yeah.
anything to add?
Yes, sir. Huh?
Is there anything to add about Jayland Walker?
Yeah, what's that?
Did you have anything to add?
Oh, yes, sir. Is that what that is, sir? Is the straight murder, execution, made an example out of him. You see, I mean, you put 90 bullets in him, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You would figure that the first 15 would kill him.
Right.
You know, the next 15 was that there 30, right? You know.
Look what they did to Silo in that same
Yeah.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How many put a shot?
16.
Yeah.
How many did they let
I
off?
mean, look what the Chicago PD did to Laquan McDonald.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see,
Chicago, yeah.
you know. Yeah, you see, you know, he got off there into a kill frenzy. You see what I'm saying? And wanted to empty the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? Because in his mind, he had a green light to do what he always wanted to do. You know, was go out and kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see.
Yep.
And then, too, is that when it comes to us, like, you know, Sandra Bland's, Breonna Taylor, and the list just goes on and on and on.
Yep.
You know, and just like with, you know, what happened to the brother there, Philando Castile. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who was murdered in front of his wife and baby.
Mm-hmm.
Shot 4 times, you know, got the legal right to carry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was saying is, you know, well, at least let me get out and show you my ID, you know, but the cop, you know, looking for an excuse to kill somebody or scared or whatnot. You know, he puts 4 bullets in this man from a 9mm, and that was at pretty much a close range. But it seems to me with a 9mm, you just wanted to need 1 bullet. So the other 3 were either out of hatred, aggression. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you know, in my opinion, this fool knew what he was doing when he murdered Mr. Castile.
Oh,
in
yeah.
my opinion.
They definitely know. They
Just
always,
like they knew
they always
yeah,
try to,
hey, man.
you see, they try to say he had a gun and he unloaded the
Yeah.
gun and they found a gun in the car. They'll use
Yeah.
any reason to justify killing us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. And so,
viewer says, praying his mama doesn't watch that body cam video or have to see those pictures.
She's probably already seen it though, Dreams.
Yeah.
Up in the police station forcefully watching that shit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what is really upsetting is that the whole city isn't burning down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
They turning up.
They just marching right now. Where's that? Is it on
Mm-hmm.
fire?
Akron, Ohio.
Is the city on fire yet? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Should be
right there,
getting
like, look what happened. Like every time something serious, I mean, well, it's always serious.
They canceled their 4th of their lives
I
celebration.
want to say is this.
Mm-hmm.
City on fire. You know what
So
I mean?
they must
It's
be
really
expecting.
gonna end. Is it gonna end with Crump? Is it gonna end with a settlement? Is it gonna end with a slap on the wrist from the?
I think Crump took the case, so yeah.
And you gotta really get the factors of when he takes over a case. What's it really about? Is it really about justice? Is it really about profit?
It's about profit.
Right. That's
Yeah.
Look into it. What's the say, Jesse?
Yeah.
Trying to see if it's Crump behind this. Yeah, because I seen him post something on Facebook. Crump.
Uh-huh.
So I think he is representing the family.
Okay.
He beat Shaka.
I hate to use the term, but he's ambulance chasing again.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and of course, you know, our hearts go out, you know, to that gentleman's family.
Yes.
I think that in this case, man, we've seen so many times how Sharpton and Ben Crump take over these little cases that it really isn't. At the end of the day, it's not for the family.
Oh,
it's,
peace, Astral Projections. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you. See the lives. That it's not really for the justice of it all, more as the justice of whatever they're going after, and it's usually money or settlement or the state or police to empty out their pockets, or you know what I mean. It's never for actual.
Yeah.
That's usually our best opinion. You know, we've seen that so many times where they've taken over.
Yep. So, fortunately, I got to move us to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, where the hell are you Biden supporters at?
Absolutely.
We're still waiting.
Yeah.
We're waiting on our tangibles. Where the hell are you Biden supporters at? Biden is giving reparations to everybody but us. And there's a case of Biden giving reparations to another group besides us. Our next topic is Biden administration plans 6-figure compensation for Havana symptom victims. Havana, Cuba, y'all.
Right.
That's what I said earlier, family, that they're just giving reparations to every faction other than FBA and descendants of child slavery.
So this is from Reuters.
Mm-hmm.
In itself.
The white supremacist publication says says the Biden administration is planning to compensate victims of Havana symptom. An anonymous Magulus. We have a Y in it. Magulus. Health incidents affecting U.S. diplomats and intelligence officers worldwide, with payments ranging from $100,000 to $200,000. Sources familiar with the matter said on Thursday. A proposed rule, which is expected to be published in the coming days, comes after the U.S. Congress passed the Havana Act last year that authorizes the State Department, CIA, and other U.S. government agencies to provide payments to staff and their families who have been affected by this syndrome during assignment. About 200 U.S. diplomats, officials, and family members overseas are believed to have been struck with a mysterious ailment with symptoms including migraines, nausea, memory lapses, and dizziness. It was first reported among U.S. officials in Havana, the Cuban capital, in 2016. But throughout the years has been reported around dozens of locations in the world, including Russia and China, as well as Europe and Latin America. Despite years of investigation, the U.S. government has so far been unable to determine the cause or whether an adversary such as Russia or China is responsible. A CIA investigation, whose conclusions were released earlier this year, said the agency had found no evidence of state actor involvement in some of the 1,000 cases it had looked into, but said it was continuing to investigate 24 unexplained cases. The State Department draft rule is expected to remain open for comments for 30 days before becoming a final rule and a process coordinated with the Office of Management and Budget. People familiar with the matter said. The rule is expected to include the criteria eligibility, sources said, adding that the exact payment amounts were still being finalized. The State Department declined to comment on payments, but said that the Havana Act requires the agency to publish implementing regulations. We will have more details to provide on that process soon, a department spokesperson said. Sufferers and lawmakers have complained that the U.S. agencies have not taken the illness seriously enough. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in November appointed veteran diplomat Jonathan Moore to lead the agency's task force handling the issue. He vowed to leave no stone unturned to stop these occurrences as swiftly as possible. Okay. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
That's this. I think we covered this last time, but now that we are going over it again, this like that, like that motherfucking mesothelioma type bullshit, right? Like all the asbestos and this, it's just stupid like that, right? It's only like 1,000 or some cases. That's the cost these motherfuckers play the game to go over to Cuba, right?
Mm-hmm.
The diplomats and shit, they're U.S. fucking citizens or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They went over there to work, right?
Yeah.
So obviously knew the fucking situations were critical in Cuba, right?
Yes.
What was that? Guantanamo Bay and all that extra stuff, right?
Yes.
Diplomats, they obviously knew that they knew what they were getting into. So what are they asking for? Are they asking for like a check now because they got headaches and migraines and whatever?
Dizziness,
Yeah, like
memory
join the
lapse.
club. I mean, like, what do you? I mean, are you paid at like this rate? We can name a whole bunch of different entities within the United States that deserve pay, and okay, not to mention this first, right? So you're gonna send money over there, and they're still over there, right?
Yeah.
They're still over there complaining and shit because Cuba's part of the United States.
No, Cuba's not part of the United States.
Puerto Rico, right?
It's never been part of the United States.
Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck does this matter?
Because they feel like they've been aggrieved.
That would have to really again. So there's just another way to fucking dig out money, right? Because there's diplomats everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's United States citizens doing the country's work everywhere.
Yes, dreams. So Biden sending money to diplomats and not paying reparations for his own people here in America.
Correct.
Well, yeah, see, that's the hypocrisy of that, you see. And this is why I don't understand.
Money anywhere, right? Any of the motherfuckers go to their embassy and be like, oh, I got a migraine. I've been over here doing this hard diplomatic work over here for all this time.
I have this syndrome.
I have a syndrome, right? There's a syndrome for fucking everything. There's a syndrome, literally, Felly, for every single thing. Everything, right? Your left foot itches, that's a syndrome. Big toe got too big, that's a syndrome. Your right eyeball fell out, that's a syndrome. Got a fucking headache on that side of the brain in the back, that's a syndrome. Right? You can't spell right, it's a syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay, but also too, I noticed that with this 5G shit, you know what I mean, and that is pretty high, over materials that I read over the years about how damaging that is to the health, from radiation poisoning. Could it be that all this shit that is coming up, like what they're talking about, this quote unquote so-called COVID, could this stuff be radiation poisoning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be.
Because when they say 5G, 4G, G means gamma rays.
By all essence, though,
they
Shabaka,
say
we
it
could be
means
getting brain damage for the
generation.
last
But
20 years.
Uh-huh.
We could
No,
be
but you got to study the electromagnetic spectrum. You see what I mean?
right, it's gamma ray.
Right, exactly. You see?
G, that they say the G stands for generation.
right.
This
I mean,
is the
thinking of
fifth
a cell phone,
generation of these cell tower waves.
you could have got brain damage
Right,
from a cell phone, a Mac.
but due to those who offer information that we came across over the years, those who worked in the industry, helped build them, even they had said it, that it was dangerous due to the electromagnetic emission that's coming up out of it. You see?
Yeah, that'll
And then,
what about
as you had pointed out, Brother Che, is that they hide in these towers and trees and stuff like that. And I sent you a picture of it. I had it in a fucking palm tree out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see. And then when you travel out there on the highways and what have you, you see them so often. You see what I'm saying? And you see like the small ones, and you see the bigger versions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with all that research and development that they're doing off into that shit, it seems to me that they could solve a whole lot of problems if they put that half the effort into some of these world's problems like homelessness. Then they do that shit.
Right.
But I mean, because as so many of our colleagues have said, and our well wishers and what have you said, well, hey, it's nanotechnology. You don't know what that stuff is. Hey, microscope, that chip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, I also think,
See?
I mean, like, at this point, there's going to be so much claim and ask for money that should rightfully go to reparations and whatnot. Is going to be coming out the woodwork. It's already been like a whole year and a half, not longer. Just us, just basically just doing the news on Saturday, where they've given out billions of dollars to everything.
So they've been giving out billions of dollars to Ukraine.
Yeah, right. And then, and I saw, a story on that there, along social media earlier today. And, this motherfucker is giving up, all these billions to Ukraine, but here the goddamn price of gasoline in the state of California is going up every day.
Mm-hmm. What is it up to?
$7.20. I've seen it as high as $7.83 a gallon here.
Jesus. That's almost $8 a gallon.
And then, too, is that of where they strategically put these gas stations also depends on the price. Now, keep in mind, man, to get your a gallon of gas out here, man, just to drive down the street, man, you're gonna need a minimum, man, of $6.
Yeah, they're not even trying to change it. If you watch the in-house talks, they got everybody. Oh, my people are at an uprise for these inflation rates, but they're not really. There's a couple people just standing in the way of fixing it. They really don't give a damn. And I mean,
well, what it is you got these corrupt ass movers and shakers and politicians and whatnot, and they pretty much serve their own agenda. They really don't give a damn, man. About the downtrodden, the homeless, other human beings and black people out here. Who are out here dying every day, living with all kind of disease and stuff like that and mental issues and things of that nature. And these here could be productive people, you see. Because I'm sure, because see, when a motherfucker's out like that, you see what I'm saying? He's got a very, very low stress point, you see. And he just might appreciate somebody saying, well, hey, man, I ain't doing to treat him with some type of dignity for today.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm on next topic, Shabaka.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that is R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years in prison for sex trafficking case.
Oh boy. Yeah, R. Kelly. R. Kelly. The only thing I can say about that, if that man is guilty of all that shit and more, he brought that on himself. And then when it comes to that type of behavior, as we had stated, on previous shows before, these are acts wrong within themselves. You see?
Right.
You see, so he probably won't be getting out.
No. He's already 50
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he'll be way up there, like around Bill Cosby age, if he lives that long. You know.
And they got him on suicide watch. And I guess he's suing them for putting him on suicide watch or something. But this is from a few days ago when he got sentenced. So I'm gonna play the video.
Okay.
Fair use.
Kelly has just been sentenced to 30 years in prison for his role in a decades-long underage sex trafficking ring. NBC News reporter Daniel Arkin is tracking this story for us. He joins us now. So, Daniel, talk to us about this sentence that just came down and led us up to this point.
Good afternoon, Aaron. That's right, 30 years behind bars for R. Kelly. This is the culmination of one of the most spectacular downfalls in all of modern celebrity. R. Kelly was one of the most popular and successful hip-hop artists of the 1990s and 2000s, produced a string of hits, but he was always trailed by very troubling accusations of sexual abuse. In 2019, the documentary series Surviving R. Kelly renewed the scrutiny on his past behavior, and last year he was finally put on trial. At the center of that case, extremely disturbing allegations that he essentially led a criminal enterprise to groom young women and boys, abuse them. Women who testified described him as a relentless abuser, holding them captive, subjecting them to horrific behavior. He was convicted last September on all of the counts in that case. His sentencing had been delayed a few times, so today, this is the big moment. This, in the eyes of his accusers and all of his critics, is justice. He will spend presumably the next 30 years behind bars.
You mentioned those accusers, Daniel. It was an emotional day in court, I understand. What have we heard from Kelly's victims today?
A number of his victims testified in court, including a few who were identified there as Jane Does. This was incredibly difficult to hear and read. They described how R. Kelly's abuse essentially ripped them of all of their agency and self-worth. One woman described how she wanted to die, being essentially his prisoner. They described feeling humiliated and debased. He, according to these women, had absolutely no remorse about what he was doing to them over the years. And so it was important to hear again from the women and I should say the accusers at the heart of this case.
Top Story with Tom Yamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
And we begin with breaking news in that migrant tragedy.
Oh, I guess that's the end of the video, y'all.
Well,
I'll get my thoughts first. Man, we've known for decades that R. Kelly was a sexual predator. We've seen that with Aaliyah back in the 90s, and it continued on into the 2000s. So this doesn't come as a surprise that he's been preying on children and young women for decades. What comes as a surprise is they gave him 30 years, but yet they only gave, what is her name, Jeffrey Epstein's wife, 20 years for the same.
Oh, yeah.
For the same charge. So, and she was doing international sex trafficking.
Yeah, I believe her name is Giselle Maxwell, I believe.
Yeah, Maxwell, yeah.
Yeah, or something to that effect.
So I think this was sending a message to black people, period. Like, look, yeah, we gave this white lady, we gave the white girl 20 years. We're going to give R. Kelly, this black celebrity, 30 years for the exact same thing. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
I think 30 years is a bit excessive. Considering he's like, my thing is this. They took everything already from him. They took his royalties, took everything that belonged to him. They took everything from him. They've humiliated him. They drug him. He's already been in prison. He's been going through it for a while. And the fact that they added an extra 30 years onto it and all these other little stipulations, I felt like that was overkill. I felt like there's not just his accountability, there's accountability of a lot of different people at play as well. And I feel like if you're gonna hold him to such high standards of punishment, why not everybody else get punished? That he's just the one taking the brunt of it, and he lost everything. Now his name is shit. He hasn't done anything since he's been in there. He's been actively trying to get out. I think that what they did with that white lady, she'll try to serve half of that in a fucking cushy ass spot. And he's already in it. He's been in it. I think that they didn't have no mercy for him. They're not gonna have no mercy for him. And should he get mercy? Maybe to a little bit, to some extent, maybe they should be more reasonable. Like with this time, yes, he did something horrible. However, let's not pretend like we didn't know. Like we've been listening to his music since past the Aaliyah thing. You know what I mean? So past the Aaliyah thing, he's had many records past the Aaliyah thing. And these people still, some of them are grown ass women, and what he did to the ones that weren't. That's a different thing. What I don't understand is the RICO charges. I mean, they just kept piling on shit. It felt like documentary didn't help. Nothing really. There hasn't been any help for him. There's no reprieve. I mean, dude was guilty for jail. Everybody knew it. Everybody still contributed and enabled that. So I feel like he shouldn't just be the only one going down. That's a lot of fucking time. And he's already done how many years? How many years has he already been in there dealing with this?
Yeah, I think about 5 years already, because they had him on, some other shit, before this had came out.
I don't think he's been out at all. And even if he was out, it wasn't very long. So he's been in there. He's already did a little bit of time. He's not getting credit for none of that shit. They got to add on to that. He's not going to get.
And then also too, from what I understand, they took all the marketing, from his music.
Yeah, they stripped him.
Yeah, and I think you can't even pull any of his stuff up on YouTube.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Terrible. They stripped him.
I think so. I'm not sure. Okay, but it's just very interesting, is that I hate to say that because I don't condone his behavior, you know what I mean? And he got found guilty of doing that type of shit. No, those are acts wrong within themselves. You see, and then on top of it as well too, it is just as.
What if some of them were lying?
No, I'm sorry.
I want to say this too. What if out of all those frauds, what if some of them were lies?
Good point, Dre.
You know what I mean? And he's already. I mean, God, man. Aside from like killing the man, you killed the man. You see what I'm saying? You can't say that all of them were telling the truth.
Right.
All of them weren't on some old Me Too bullshit. or I thought, or we conversed, or I know this sister from over here. We chopped it up, and we had similar like experiences, and I just thought I'd get on board. You know, I couldn't say all of them. I'm gonna say good handful, probably yes. But then we gotta give you some that probably were not on the up and up and telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Justine
Right.
Will got a little black book with former presidents' names, celebrities, and royalty, and R. Kelly don't. I don't understand why the parents of a 14-year-old let her go travel with him. And then,
well, you see, once again, that is kind of like what happened here in California with Michael Jackson, and what was that? Neverland, I believe, where he had up there, and what was he in? I think either in Ventura County or San Luis Obispo County, one, but it was Santa Barbara County, which is an exclusive county, by the way. And he was having the kids come out there to Neverland and what have you. Then he comes across these type of accusations, and then they booked him in the Santa Barbara County jail, you know, and he was all fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
give this man back his life, even if no matter what happens, his life is forever fucked. He's gone.
No, he's washed up.
Royalties.
No, okay. When's the earliest he can get parole off that 30-year sentence?
Is he even eligible?
I don't even think he's eligible for parole.
Okay, that's precisely my point. That's what I mean by he's done. He's through. Now, what is he, 54 now, 55?
Yeah.
And he's broke.
Well, yeah, they stripped.
Let's say,
sure, they stripped.
Okay, if that dude that lives through that sentence, right, and gets kicked out of prison, he's gonna be flat ass broke, and he's gonna be 87 years old. And looking at the way how this world has evolved in the last 15 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With these techno, what do we call them? These biotechnical barbarians, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, you know, this shit is going bizarre now. I mean, okay, but I'm just talking about it. Let's just look at the bizarre. R. Kelly, right? A grown ass man going around talking about he wants to be identified as a woman. The state of California out here on the West Coast. Oh, well, the governor signs executive action that they won't put the gender of a newborn child on his birth certificate. That's a human rights violation. I mean, how the hell are you going to sit up there and tell a baby boy, well, when it comes of age, that it's a boy and not a girl? Or how are you going to tell a baby girl that says that she's a boy? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, and as we're stated here at Front Line Blacc News and on Shabaka's Black Experience, enhance the social engineering of this bullshit. Dr. Francis West Quelson, told you that in the 70s. And I believe, what is that, Brother Che, the ISIS Papers?
Yes.
Okay. And she had stated, and I read it, is that we'll be conditioned to hate ourselves so damn bad, we'll go out there, consider killing ourselves as a normalcy. And won't even realizing that you're doing it.
Yeah.
To paraphrase.
She's going in.
You know, I'm not exactly quoting her, but I'm just paraphrasing her idea.
Yeah, it's genetic annihilation.
Yeah, exactly. And even Anchorman had said, that he's emphasized on his appearances on our platforms, social engineering is designed this way. And even didn't you and I, Brother Che, come across some research? They was planning this shit 50 years ago during the Nixon regime.
Yep.
Yeah, him and Henry Kissinger.
Yep.
See, so therefore, as you say, Brother Che, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And what we need to do now is we got to start building the infrastructures to defend ourselves against these biotechnical barbarians.
Right.
Don't you get it? These motherfuckers are out to kill us, man. And definitely check out our next show on Shabaka's Black Experience, or the 4th of their lives. And then also, too, check out in a special edition, that we're researching right now about the state of California becoming concerned about Black people legally buying firearms, and also, too, getting proper instruction on it and getting proper reading materials on it.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen the article on that.
Yeah, right. It's the Los Angeles Times, June 27th. And then the sad part about it is now you got all these damn white militias forming, and whatnot, like the food there in Buffalo, New York, and Dylan Roof. You see what I'm saying? Shit in the house in Wisconsin. The police department that murdered young man there, putting 90 bullets in a man. That shit is overkill. Breonna Taylor. Zay.
Boys in the documentary.
I mean,
It says right there.
didn't they have something? Didn't they have something called the Casual Killing Act?
It was like a couple of parts. It was like
Brother Trey.
What are you asking me, Shabaka?
Okay, didn't what was that? The 1600s that they had the Casual Killing Act in Virginia.
Yeah, 16. I want to say 1690.
Right. So therefore, once again, that tradition that went down, that has been carried down the American ethos of no regard for Black life. You see what I'm saying? Has transferred itself and evolved itself in its institutions as well.
Yeah, the Casual Killing Act was. No, what one?
The one you just passed.
No. Do you want to watch it?
No, but I thought it was a legislative act in the state of Virginia in 1619.
No.
Or 1624s. Huh?
It was after 1619.
Okay, so maybe probably about 1691 or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. Okay, it's because just using it as a point of reference, 1619. So that's 80 years, just about 80 years, as they after they had allegedly sold the first Black slaves there at Jamestown, Virginia.
Yep.
Okay. So with that in mind, okay, then that's going to show that the production of the wealth that the slave was doing, with agricultural goods and crafts and trades as well too.
1669
is the Casual Killing Act.
Yeah.
Okay, 1669. Okay, yeah, like I said, yeah, I'd figured about at least 50 to 75 years, after they land there, the Pilgrims, you know what I mean, and then they all start coming.
Yeah, it was in Virginia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and then too, I would imagine, when they started around in that time period is when they hitting the continent in the north. They started start disfiguring, the statues and monuments, the ancestors, of Kemet Kush, what have you, and started to whitewash, just like Jacques Chirac. What's his name? Jacques Rene Chirac, the former president of France.
Yeah, the one that said that he's that had the quote about stealing the resources from Africa.
Right. And keeping the African ignorant of the brutalization against him. You said, I'm saying, for the sole benefit of the Europeanites.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's pretty much what you're saying.
This video real quick about R. Kelly, and then we're going to move on to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
For Hydro Boost cleansing gel with pure hyaluronic acid, it cleanses and hydrates.
For the dewy look your skin deserves. Routine upgraded. Neutrogena.
NBC legal analyst Danny Ceballos. And Danny, Stephanie kind of hinted to this idea that the prosecutors had to get a bit creative in order to get some of these cases in front of a jury. Does that increase the likelihood, the chances of appeal here?
Stephanie is exactly right. And arguably, the defense's biggest asset in this case was the complexity and arguably the awkwardness of applying federal racketeering charges to a person who now is convicted of using his business in order to satisfy his sexual urges. It's not the traditional application of racketeering law. Normally, that's been applied to mafia-type defendants who are engaged in loan sharking or money laundering, not Mann Act violations, which is transporting women across state lines to commit sexual crimes. So while you do have an awkward application of federal RICO statutes here, on appeal, because the law is written so broadly and so favorably to prosecutors, there are less avenues for appeal. But of course, to the criminal defendant, there is always something to appeal upon conviction.
So he's going to appeal.
He should.
Mm-hmm.
He should appeal it because I feel like that was more fluff to that shit. He should appeal that. Knock at least 10 years off. It's 10. I mean, God, nobody, I mean, you can't expect him to live to 90-something in there.
From good things she bought extra, Rashida.
This one's a goner.
To always needs to end on a zero, Rashida.
Okay, you totally distracted me. That's not fair. What?
Earn cash back that automatically adjusts to where your spending is trending with the City Custom Cash Card.
It's a verdict prosecutors say was nearly 30 years in the making. R. Kelly guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. The man who wrote the Grammy-winning 90s anthem, I Believe I Can Fly, now facing decades behind bars.
Today's guilty verdict forever brands R. Kelly as a predator who used his fame and fortune to prey on the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless.
The verdict caps a 5-week-long trial with often graphic testimony. Victims described being locked in rooms for days for not following Kelly's rules, like not asking for permission to go to the bathroom or making eye contact with other men. Geronda Pace, who appeared in the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, was just 16 years old when she said she was abused by the pop star.
The breaking point for me was when Rob slapped me and he choked me until I blacked out.
The racketeering charge normally used to convict mafia bosses, allowing the government to introduce sexual abuse allegations outside the statute of limitations. At the center of the case, pop star Aaliyah, who died tragically in a plane crash. One witness said she walked in on Kelly and the then 13 or 14-year-old Aaliyah engaged in a sex act. The majority of the victims, young Black girls and boys, at the time of the abuse. The former assistant district attorney who tried Bill Cosby believes this trial could be a turning point.
These were decades worth of tears that these women have been crying. But at least now they are having the opportunity to be heard. They're able to testify and be credibly believed.
1 in 4 Black girls are sexually abused before age 18. Few go to the authorities. The defense portrayed the accusers in this case as opportunists who wanted money and fame themselves.
You saw witness after witnesses giving 3, 4, 5 different versions as to what they said happened here.
The jury wasn't swayed, deliberating less than 9 hours total. Guilty on all counts.
To the victims in this case, your voices were heard and justice was finally served.
Stephanie, R. Kelly has been behind bars for the last couple of years. What happens next for him?
Well, Lester, R. Kelly is going to stay behind bars. He has his sentencing hearing on May 4th, where he faces 10 years to life, and then he has multiple upcoming trials on both state and federal charges.
Wow.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can
He can get
10 years and they give life.
So he's gonna get more time than that.
Right. So I mean, like, Jesus, man.
So he
Well, he's washed up.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts on the subject. Like, you can't. I'm Generation X.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dream. Who does that?
I done lived my whole life listening to motherfucking R. Kelly. And
But
there's not a motherfucker on this face of the planet right now that hasn't heard one R. Kelly track within this week, playing on Pandora or iHeartRadio or fucking Spotify or whatever. And they would be a goddamn liars. They're all liars if they say they're not and they boycott and do not listen to this fucking music. Especially if they're my age and you can't help it. It just plays and all of a sudden you're singing fucking 12 player, fucking half on a baby or some shit. Everybody goddamn liars. Everybody just needs to stop the cap right now. Because I know for a fact I was singing to R. Kelly fucking like 3 days ago on the way to his house. Okay? So this music will always live on. The fact is, his name is garbage now, and it's tainted by all this nonsense. And whether it's not nonsense or not, whether he did it or not, you can't convince me. Everybody got violated. You know what I mean? Just say, I'm gonna say a good handful, yes. What about the ones that hit the nail right in the coffin and exaggerated or misled or whatever? Just because, what did everybody get? Here's what we need to find out. What did every single motherfucking person get out of this trial? What was the win for them? What kind of settlement did they get? Because then we will know where everybody's motives really were. You know what I mean? Like, surely there's a list of a motherfucking settlement somewhere with it. Jane Doe X got $237,000.
He has no more money
Jane
left.
Doe fucking YQ plus hyphenated.
He hasn't had money since he went to prison.
Right, but still, did they not settle out? What do the victims usually do, right? The victims.
Well, see, they would have to have a civil trial for that.
Yeah, this is all
They say,
right now.
yeah, see, a lawsuit. See, that's civil trial. See, this shit here that he got 30 years for, that's criminal.
Right. So eventually, it's gonna reach to civil. Right, and then Chicago's paying out.
Yeah, Cook County.
Right, because his estate's fucked. It's gone.
Yeah, it's been.
Okay. So Crook County, what are they paying out?
I don't know what they're paying out. It's not civil yet. It's still criminal. This is all criminal.
5 years.
Okay.
He kept it. He kept it going.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're saying that Crook County, Illinois, has got additional charges they're going to hit R. Kelly with?
Yeah, and then he got other charges coming from other states.
Right. I mean, surely the victims got something, right?
Man, that dude, wow, he's going to be going to court a whole lot of time.
Right? Just because they want to see him, suffer the massive consequences of right? Let's be realistic.
Well, it's like trying to get something out of a turnip. They're not gonna get it. He's broke. He ain't got no money.
Right. Surely they wanted something, right?
So what did they do? The state seized his assets?
Yeah,
they seized everything.
I think, somebody else did something too when they took his rights to his music.
All right, so the state of Illinois broke his ass then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I remember they put the chains on
when he first went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard day to put the chains on.
And then I do know he made a public appearance a while back where they said he had a nervous breakdown or some type of confrontation with the host on certain questioning that she was giving.
Yeah, man, he was going off, but he was in that moment he was declaring his non-guilt, and he was being what do you call it
saying he was innocent.
Yeah, he was saying he was innocent, and that he was being what do you call it berated or something like that, to where they're making him look like he's guilty. They're constantly sort of slanderizing him and whatnot, dragging him through the mud, and it was a horrible thing, man. It was horrible. It was all over.
Yeah, I can't say I'll never listen to his music again. I just won't listen to it the same again. Like, I can't listen to it the same anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Dude is a straight up pedophile. We've known this for decades. Like every time his music would come on, I'd be like, "Why are you playing to listen to this pedophile music?"
But when you knew that,
when I found out that he was a straight up pedophile,
so you didn't listen to it after you found out the Aaliyah thing. Stop the cap. I can't even believe it. No, you can't even convince me. After you found out, because you're like, what is that? Like you're 35, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't listen to it ever again, and you didn't feel this. You felt all this betrayal inside. It's like, come on now.
I knew he was a pedophile.
Come
like
on,
we
now.
don't have no culture for pedophiles.
No, I understand that, but you
FBA
really
don't have no culture for pedophiles.
This is the argument, though. This is the argument. It's like you really need to say that, regardless of that.
I didn't.
You push past the music.
I didn't.
Forever, he's a pedophile.
I didn't purposely go out and seek out R. Kelly's music. No.
I'm saying this, Felly.
If it came on the radio, that's one thing. I didn't purposely go out and seek out R. Kelly's music.
Never
to
hummed
listen
a tune with it.
I sung his songs before. I mean, I grew up to I Believe I Can Fly and all that shit. I grew up to that. I grew up to all of that. It doesn't negate the fact I can't listen to the music like that.
I'm not gonna be. That's the first thing that's not gonna cross my mind. I don't know what it is, but my brain is gonna go on auto tune, and I'm gonna remember that nostalgic feeling I had when I first heard it, and then close to the end of the song, I'm gonna remember that. Real shit. Anybody who says that that's not the case, I just have to call cap on that.
Yeah, I can't do it no more.
Right?
I can't listen to R. Kelly's music no more.
Going
what are you saying, Dream?
So we won't be out of it yet. Like Prince.
At the earliest.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's white.
Exactly.
He got white privilege.
And he's a prince. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's been so many of them. They got caught with so much nasty.
That's their culture, though. Their culture is
and
pedophile.
They get away with fucking.
They have a whole culture.
I mean, and
she said her favorite was "I Wish."
I got at least the first 2 albums on my brain. Man, I was telling him about working on my 2-step. Come on, let's step in the name of love.
Yeah, I definitely won't be stepping in the name of love.
I'm not even gonna cap. I'm gonna tell the truth. Though. I'm telling the truth. I told her that just the other day. I was like, I've been working on my 2-step.
Yeah.
He just blew me off like always. But I'm like, I'm gonna tell the truth.
Yeah,
I'm telling the truth.
I'm not purposely gonna be listening to R. Kelly's music anymore.
He can bogart all he wants, but I'm probably if it come on Pandora, that's like this could be like the last thing that like him being in jail.
It's not gonna come off of Pandora.
From my motherfucking mind, him being in jail, all that bullshit he did.
No, Pandora's not gonna do it.
It's the music for me. I'm on the music.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Pandora was one of the places like Spotify and the rest of them that they taken down his music.
So you'll listen to his music and it's dedicated to little girls.
What I'm saying is that was the farthest thought of my mind. I'm Generation X. When that music came out, that music was of my generation. For 12 Play, all that shit, that whole album was my generation. Okay, the first 2 albums, my generation.
Yeah,
so he started,
I grew up on
sliding
all
off,
of that shit.
Yes, but I was up in the motherfucking music, all the music of that time. So regardless, I wasn't listening to the motherfucking shit that was going on the outside with the dudes. I was in the music. I was singing, I was dancing, I was having fun. I was in the music, right? So now that all this shit is coming out, that's the farthest thing from which is the truth. This is me telling the truth. Farthest thing from my mind. When the fucking song comes out right now, you'll hear it's automatic. 42, automatic. It'll start playing. I'll start singing it. I'm in a nostalgic moment. I'm thinking about love. Thinking about beautiful motherfucking things. And then towards the end of the motherfucking song, and it's over. It's on to the next song, which would be like motherfucking Chris Brown or some stupid shit. Then I'll think about all the bullshit he did. That's a human being. I'm being a human being.
I'm the opposite. I'm thinking about him being a damn pedophile.
Stop the cat, because you go.
I've been saying he's a damn pedophile for decades.
Okay, but did you not still listen to the music after that?
Like I said, I didn't purposely seek
You
out
didn't
his
purposely
music.
seek it out, but you didn't jam
I didn't
to it?
buy any of R. Kelly's
But
records.
you didn't jam into it.
I didn't have none of his records.
Okay.
I didn't
but
have
you
one
didn't
R.
jam
Kelly
it.
record.
You didn't jam to it. You didn't get busy to it.
I got busy to some of his tracks.
Well, there you have it, family. There you have
But
it.
like I said, I didn't purposely seek out
There
his
you have it.
music.
At least you know in this conversation with the three of us, don't tell the truth. Girl.
He's a damn pedophile.
Well,
And it's been broken.
yeah, and that's and
We knew
well,
that.
I mean, beyond on multiple cases, you know what I mean, and then you know, information that he's got people, you know, confined to rooms. That's kidnapping.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping in my perspective.
So you have to look at that on top of the other charges they had against him too.
Oh yeah, all that matters.
See, and then if he's preventing people's move from their free movement, then that's imprisonment
Yeah, that's
what
what
they said.
Yeah.
against their will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said.
Now you had kidnap.
Yep.
That's what they said. But again, that wasn't a reflection of the tunes he was making at that moment for me. I'm just being honest. I'm just keeping it honest.
Okay, but unfortunately for Mr. Kelly, you know, like Trey says, he's flat ass broke. Plus, so which means is if they quit playing his music, that's gonna kill his residuals. You see, and then if the motherfucker could still get his residual payments, okay, he won't have access to it.
They took it.
They took all of that.
They took all of that.
Yeah,
No royalty
yeah.
money from any of the songs playing. They're just playing for free right now. And been playing for free for like what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all his assets they've seized. You see.
Seized everything. They took everything from him.
So I'm sure the mansion he had there in Illinois, you know, that's probably been sold already.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
See,
But it
you
doesn't
know.
do the right thing with it. They probably gave it to charity, or not even give it to charity. They probably sold it off.
No, what they need to do is if the state of Illinois sees that man's property, then they need to take that motherfucker there, go over there to Chicago's west side and south side and get some of our people who is homeless and have them reside up in that motherfucker.
Right.
You see, I mean, you know, you could put 24 families in that place.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the way they described it. Yeah, for sure.
No, turn that there into long-term traditional housing, and then have a section off. You know what I'm saying? You know, down there, you know, off in his living room or whatever. Hey, well, you got the people who can come in and need a place to sleep that night would get them a hot meal. You see what I'm saying? Nice, clean shower, give them clean clothes, all that raggedy shit they would have on, you know, lose it. You're going out in some new gear, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
Shoes, you know, hygienics, all that.
I gotta move us to our next topic, Shabaka.
Yes, sir.
So our next topic is Emmitt Til's family calls for justice after finding an unserved arrest warrant in his case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. First thing, what they need to do is that
Be expensive. Let's just accept that. Going to the movies can be a lot for young homeowners turning into their parents.
Bathrooms. Even if you don't have to go, you should try.
We all know where the bathroom is and how to use it. Okay?
You know, the Stevensons told me they save money bundling their
what was that, all them damn
No,
commercials?
to those people. It can be painful. You don't need to go anywhere.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you buy a home auto and work with us.
No one who made movies here.
I believe we were led by our angels, led by the spirit of Emmitt Til and Emmitt Til.
For 67 years, the family of Emmitt Til say they have been seeking justice, not just for the 1955 murder of the 14-year-old Black boy whose tortured and disfigured body helped spark the civil rights movement, but for what led up to that murder, his kidnapping. The family believes one suspect is a woman who is still alive.
I mean, we thought of things like citizens arrest. I'm just going to tell you. We thought of things like Well, can we find the warrant and present it to her? If the authorities aren't going to do this, what can we do?
Til's cousins, Deborah and Terry Watts, decided to go searching for the warrant, one authorities over the decades never found in their investigations.
There were cobwebs across all of the boxes, dead bugs, dust. We had to get chairs to even search on different levels for the documents. We did have gloves and masks as well, but we were definitely determined to find it no matter what. We pushed through.
2 men were acquitted of Til's murder by an all-white jury, though they later admitted to the killing in an interview with Look magazine. The case against Miss Roy Bryant, who now goes by Carolyn Bryant Dunham, was never tried. We reached out to Dunham and have not heard back.
We think this is evidence, this is new evidence that no one had ever searched for, and we were able to find it. It was unbelievable. It was overwhelming. We all cried. We were in also a state of shock, speechless in some instances.
Wow, the moment was very, very, very overwhelming. I had to look at the warrant several times just to make sure that it was real, that it actually read Mrs. Roy Bryant on it.
Though she was never arrested or tried, in 2007, after the Til case was reopened, Bryant's case was brought in front of a Mississippi grand jury. That grand jury did not indict her. A majority Black grand jury did convene in Greenwood, Mississippi, and they declined to indict Carolyn Bryant Dunham. What do you make of that?
We're not sure why they declined to indict her, because there was enough evidence there to indict her. The investigation had been done.
The Watts say their whole lives they have lived with Emmitt Til Mobley's haunting cries for justice and the images that horrified a nation of their cousin Emmitt Til's body lying disfigured in an open casket. It was a scene his mother insisted showing the world to expose what racist hate truly looks like.
We did take the torch from Mamie. We ensured to her that we will continue the fight before she passed away. And so for me, I definitely want to see it through, but it has been a tremendous amount of trauma. I still feel like the weight is on our shoulders. We found the new evidence, and so we just want justice served.
We are doing this without hate, malice, or vengeance against Carolyn Bryant. We just want justice served. Justice has been denied for 67 years, and it needs to be served.
And just to give you an idea of how long it took them to find that in the basement of this old courthouse in Mississippi, less than 2 hours.
Wow.
Damn.
And there's the warrant, dog.
Yeah, see, you know, the hypocrisy is real.
And this brought
I wouldn't give a damn if that motherfucker there is 90,000 years old. If that son bitch still got some life, go book her ass.
Right. What are you waiting on?
She's in North Carolina now. She's not in Mississippi anymore.
Go get her.
Mm-hmm.
She got to answer for that warrant. No, they say statute. There's no statute, right? Or is there statute limitations on this?
Okay, no, but you see, what she made was a false accusation.
Right.
So
You see, it's what she made, which was common practice in the South. That white women would make of Black men, you know, just to see him get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like she did with Emmitt Til.
A memorial.
And Lord knows of how many other brothers, you know, met their fate like that in Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the white supremacists shoot at that plaque every year.
Yeah, they shoot at the plaque.
Oh, yeah.
So, what else is...
Brittany Giner. So, what are y'all thoughts on Emmitt Til? That's it.
Go get that broad.
Okay, well, like I said on that, where that broad is, if she is still alive, they need to go book her ass, throw her ass into the damn jail system. Let her die in prison. I mean, you know, and if I don't know if anyone has ever seen photographs of Emmitt Til, and I believe Ms. Mobley, who was his mother, had put it on public display.
Yeah.
And Emmitt Til was from Chicago.
Yep.
And also, too, as you know, there's a lot of Black history there in Chicago, like with Emmitt Till, and then, of course, Ida B. Wells, you know, who worked at the newspaper publishing company, who used to report all the lynchings that they used to do throughout the South, throughout the various states.
Yep.
See, and how are we, as us as a people, and this is why we emphasize tangible, strictly something for us. You see what I'm saying? 2022.
I do the right thing.
You other groups, you know, you can't relate to it. You know what I'm saying? It's downright impossible. I mean, to have in your collective conscience as a people that you were murdered for recreation, that all they got to do is make a false accusation for you and do this to you. For centuries brutalized, and they telling you this is the place of freedom and liberty.
When did this article come out?
And then as soon as you try to exercise these constitutional rights and defend yourself, they want to label you a fucking terrorist.
2 days ago.
Oh man, somebody should go get her.
Yeah, and Biden's DOJ closed the investigation on this case, and then turned around and passed the Emmitt Till Anti-Lynching Act.
Well, the hypocrisy is real. I mean, just like when Maxine Waters was doing her investigation about the huge infusion of narcotics or drugs, you know, off in the LA and South Central during the 90s and all that, and she launched an investigation, was getting close, and if memory serves me correct, she was about to call before her committee the director of the CIA, and her investigation got shut down by the Attorney General at the time during the Clinton administration, and that was Janet Reno.
Yeah.
I concur. I was like, I don't even know what the holdup is. I'm surprised that it is pull-up season.
No. What the holdup is, it's not so much a holdup, is that they do not give a fuck about when we have these atrocities committed against us. You see what I'm saying? And then and then just like in this case where it's flagrant, blatant lies, intentional, to get that young man brutalized the way he was.
Yeah, she's 88.
Okay, fine. And what they need to do is go book her old 88 ass and throw her in her damn county blues, you know what I'm saying, and walk the concrete.
How come none of us went to go get her? You know what I mean? She's right there. She's right there.
All right.
North Carolina.
Well, what you have to understand is this.
She's in Raleigh.
Okay, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
No, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right, but to Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what I said, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Down there where all the tobacco is grown.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sad part about it is that this so-called Negro leadership that they have, Congressional Black Caucus, who's the other crew, the so-called influential ones, the black politicians, the Obamas, half the motherfuckers there in Hollywood, you know, who are black. Oh, forgive her, that was way in the past. You know, this is a new day and era. Well, from that time of when that shit was going down to what's going on right now with this bizarre ass shit that you're seeing out here now, I ask you, was there any damn improvement? Not in my opinion. You know, I've seen 50 years of this bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And it's gotten more and more bizarre. The more that we try to progress as a people, then they emphasize on being all inclusive. Then we fall a sucker for that shit. Now they got a goddamn men out here feminizers wearing dresses up in Hollywood.
Yeah, so
on television.
Some activists in Wake County, North Carolina, or
Right.
her arrested.
They want her arrested?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, the damn county sheriff over there or the police chief or whoever's in charge of those agencies over there need to go up there and arrest her ass now.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so disappointed. So
Yeah, and then
we'll talk about this on the
and let's say if they would have did this, say in the 1970s, right?
Mm-hmm.
That she made this admission that she had lied. I believe that at that time, with that all-inclusive act, they would probably say, you know, don't worry about it. But then, quite natural, of course, at that time, there's a whole lot who they don't allow to view their porn, who would says, no, do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, what's our next topic, Brother Trey?
Brittany Giner.
Okay. All right, now this is the WNBA basketball star who was over in the Soviet Union, Russia, Ukraine, or whatever what the fuck they were calling it today, or behind the Iron Curtain, as they used to say, you know, who was smoking the weed, right?
Yeah, she tried to transport cartridges of liquid THC through the airport.
There's a little amount of like a personal use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to give her 10 years in prison. And
she's already been incarcerated over there. What, going on 2 years now?
No, it hasn't been that long.
Just about as much time as the war's been on.
So
about a year now.
No, the Ukrainian war started about 6 months ago. So she probably been there for about 5-6 months.
Right.
Okay.
But her trial begins this week.
Okay.
So this article from NPR says Russian prosecutors call first witnesses in case against Brittany Giner. And we're going to listen to them read it for us.
Hey NPR, tap the play button to hear from StoryCorps with a story about one couple's unique quarantine experience. Support for NPR and StoryCorps come from Subaru, partnering with the National Forest Foundation to help replant trees in areas devastated by wildfires. Subaru, more than a car company.
WNBA star Brittany Giner has been detained in Russia for more than 4 months now on drug charges. Her family, friends, and supporters have been pressing the Biden administration to secure her release. Well, her trial finally began today in Moscow, and NPR's Charles Maines was at the courthouse. Welcome.
Hi there.
So my understanding is that press access was limited. What did you glean from today's proceedings?
Well, we learned a bit more about the charges themselves. The prosecution claims that Russian custom agents found 2 vape cartridges with a total of just over 2/3 of a gram of hash oil in Griner's backpack and suitcase when she arrived to the Moscow airport last February. They noted it was for personal use, but that Giner had intentionally sought to import these prohibited substances into the Russian Federation. And in fact, the prosecution called 2 of the customs officials who supposedly inspected Giner as witnesses today.
So the trial is really underway. Of course, this comes against the backdrop of the war in Ukraine, antagonistic relations between the U.S. and Russia. How is that impacting the case?
Well, the U.S. would say a lot. The U.S. government declared her wrongfully detained in May, and the case has since been handed to this U.S. envoy for hostage affairs. And certainly, there's intense public pressure on the Biden administration to do something about it. U.S. officials seem to stress they hear that message loud and clear. Here's the U.S. Embassy's Deputy Chief of Mission, Elizabeth Rood, who attended the trial and spoke afterwards.
I can assure you that the United States government, at the very highest levels, is working very hard to bring Ms. Giner, as well as all wrongfully detained U.S. citizens, safely home.
That phrase wrongfully detained seems very relevant. Do we have any sense of how she herself, Brittany Giner, is doing?
Yeah, we saw Giner only briefly. The press was kept at a distance. She was led by guards, handcuffed, and dressed in a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. The U.S. Embassy's Elizabeth Rood said she had a chance to speak with Griner during the hearing and said she was, quote, in good spirits and keeping up the faith, but given circumstances. That sentiment was also conveyed by Griner's Russian lawyer, Alexander Boykov.
She's a bit worried because she has the trial and she has sentencing in the close future, but she's a tough lady.
How is Russian media covering this story? It's been huge in the U.S. Are Russians aware of it?
Well, they're covering it, but it doesn't have quite the same level of attention that we see in the U.S. Keep in mind that the Kremlin insists Griner isn't a hostage, and that this isn't about politics or geopolitics. The Russian government argues this is just a story of an American, okay, a high-profile American, facing the consequences of carrying illegal substances into Russia.
Okay, so the trial is underway. The U.S. says they're doing everything they can to get her out. Any sense of how this is likely to end?
Well, it seems clear we'll have to see the trial through, and it'll take a while, too. The hearings pick up again on July 7th. That's next Thursday, but it'll be several rounds of hearings before Griner's defense even gets to make its case. Meanwhile, there are reports or rumors, whispers, call them what you want, of a possible trade for Griner, and not least because the Biden administration just did a prisoner swap with Russia to free another jailed American, U.S. Marine Trevor Reed, from a Russian prison back in April. Reed's now safely home. Griner's family and supporters want the same.
That's NPR's Charles Maines covering the Brittany Giner trial in Moscow. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so
and now more from.
All right, so there y'all have it. Griner just went to trial. Her trial just began. And Biden is not fighting for her like Trump was fighting for A$AP Rocky and Lil Wayne and other black celebrities that ended up getting in trouble overseas. So her family is wondering why Biden, his administration, is not fighting for her like Trump's administration was fighting for them. So we're still waiting on you Biden supporters.
Yeah. Once again, the number to call is 418-5996. That is the number to call on Shabaka's Black Experience on our next upcoming episode on the 4th of their lives. And you Biden supporters, hey, we've been reaching out to you guys, for the last, what has it now been, Brother Che, almost 2 years now, a year and a half. And
yep.
And we yet to hear from you, and we understand.
Only one Biden voter has called into Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced.
Yes, indeed. We are. Only one. But the thing is, though, is that people wanted to change from the orange man, and then due to Biden's incompetence and ineptitude and what have you, people are now probably missing the orange man. Because how much was a gallon of gas with the orange dude?
Almost like $1, $2.
Yeah, $2 in some states and no more than $4 in others. You know what I mean? But Biden gets up in there and they talking a shit about, the pandemic, everything is going up, and look at the price of gas. And they talking about that they got some type of plan, to save the U.S. economy, with the pandemic and all this old shit. Come on. Grow your own. We have to grow our own food and save ourselves.
I'm just gonna keep it real. She's black. They're not making no push to get her back. I've been saying that for the longest, family.
Right.
Use her as a pawn to benefit the agenda for the Russian war that the United States is funding. However, I do think it's a fucking it's shitty that they leave her over there. They leave her over there, but they'll negotiate what's his name, Trevor or whatever, back in April.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the response? He was white, right?
Yep.
Right, but they'll leave his sister over there, a profound basketball player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll leave her over there for just a couple of vape pens. some vape oil or some hash or whatever.
Yeah, some hash oil. Yeah.
You know, and well, you know, given the hindsight of things, if I'm an American citizen, I don't necessarily know if they got weed over there. I might need it for a condition or some shit. You know, I don't know what they got over there. I might have to go to Amsterdam. Russian Amsterdam is kind of far, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe she was just, you know, thinking ahead of her needs and not actually looking at the logistics of what could possibly happen. Either way, that was a pinnacle pawn piece they're using her as, you know what I mean? And she's sitting in some sort of Russian compound, right? And just like they have the black Ukrainians, the black Russians, sitting in their own little FEMA camps that nobody wants to talk about.
Yep.
And not letting them out. So you already know when you're black and you come over somewhere, you're stuck, you're fucked, you're not gonna get out. Nobody's really making what I really find is really sad is that no one's making a push to make them let her out. I mean, God, 10 years just for a couple of personal little vapes, that seems a little bit ridiculous when you got this motherfucker killing all kinds of people, bombing all kinds of places where civilians are, you know, and he's just doing the most. And you got our government funding them and sending them weapons to commit these atrocities somewhere else. And we're just supposed, you know, everything's all good. No, it's not good. It's not good. And none of that is good. And you're going to negotiate a prisoner for a prisoner? Get real. That's shitty. That's fucked up. She had her whole life ahead of her.
Yep.
She had you know, identifies differently, but then she got a wife or something.
Yeah.
You know, here in the States.
Yeah.
You know, that's still fucking, it's still something.
Yeah.
It's still a life. She has a fucking life. And she's a female ball player, man. Like, that's something we should be celebrating. Instead of we're looking over here like, oh man, I hope they let her out. I hope somebody let her out. What are they gonna do? Man, this is bullshit. Like, I've been saying that from the time they took her. This is bullshit. They were gonna use her to motivate a fucking agenda that was gonna finance that fucking war that we ain't got shit to do with. It's only making it harder for us. It's just like Professor Black True said. The longer the war goes on, the worse it gets for everybody in the economy in America. Everything. Like, I mean, we can go back like 5 months. I'll pull that track for Professor Black Truth where he's talking about everything is going to be affected by this goddamn war. And if you're not feeling it, you're feeling it. Like, not only is it hotter outside, the gas prices are up. There's no food. We're on limited fucking resources. It's looking like motherfucking purge and desperate times around this bitch. Motherfuckers are already siphoning gas right there at the gas pump. While you're pumping the gas, they're drilling under your motherfucking whip and taking it from you.
Yes.
Real shit.
So let's hear what her attorney had to say.
U.S. Embassy, the American government, cares very deeply about this case and about Ms. Griner's welfare, as do millions of Americans, as well as we care about the welfare of all U.S. citizens in prison overseas. I did have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Griner in the courtroom. She is doing as well as can be expected in these difficult circumstances, and she asked me to convey that she is in spirits and is keeping up the faith. The Russian Federation has wrongfully detained Ms. Griner. Wrongful detention is unacceptable wherever it occurs, and it endangers the safety of everyone traveling, living, working, studying abroad. I can assure you that the United States government at the very highest levels is working very hard to bring Ms. Griner, as well as all wrongfully detained U.S. citizens, safely home. And finally, I will repeat what Ambassador Sullivan has said many times. Our embassy has no higher priority than protecting the interests of U.S. citizens detained in the Russian Federation. Thank you.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't believe a goddamn thing that woman said. She's standing all awkward. Her body language is suggesting major uncomfortability. She don't believe a goddamn thing she just said. You know what I mean? Seriously. I mean, you just look at the body language. She looks like she has to go to the restroom or something. She's like, moving around a little weird. She doesn't have no inflection in her voice. She doesn't seem to sound empowering by any means. You know what I mean? She's like the worst spokesperson for this woman. Like, you need somebody out there like with a strong ass motherfucking voice talking about, we're not gonna take this, whatever the fucking needs to be said. But right there, whatever that lady said, I tuned out about a third of it because I was watching her. I thought she had to go to the restroom. And who picks a fucking camera scene to look up at this tall, skinny, pink face like that? You know what I mean? She's obviously very awkward. She's not. She's worst person. I mean, even if you are the attorney, man, have somebody read out your shit better. Like, do better. That poor girl's gonna be there forever if this is the motherfucker speaking for her. Real shit. That do you see how awkward that bro was? That bro was mad awkward. And there's like, carry on. Tell us more. She's keeping the faith. She's in good spirits. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. You know who's gonna be in good spirits? It's fucking Russia. They're not treating her well. You know they're not treating her well. You know what I mean? They're not treating her like she's this is a wrongful detainment and we're just gonna hold you as a pawn until we get what the fuck we want from that guy right there. No, they're not treating her. She's probably in the worst conditions. You know what I mean? Nobody's really seen her, so how do we know? This the spokesperson you get is some awkward, lanky ass motherfucking white lady to promote some motherfucking commentary. It's horrible.
Yeah, Dreams. Dreams says, remember that guy that got North Korea and held him in prison, and news was all at the airport to welcome him back here in the U.S. And he was on a stretcher on life support.
There you go.
Yep.
See, that could be the sister coming back. She might not play ball again or something. God forbid. You read something's horrible because.
Are you talking about John McCain?
I don't know who. North Korea.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about because from what I understand about John McCain, he was shot down over North Vietnam and he was a POW for 7 years.
Yeah, well, she's talking about North Korea, not Vietnam.
Well,
okay.
Hey, is Brittany Giner a prisoner of war? No, she was going there for some reason. It's a fucking prisoner of circumstance.
She was playing ball there.
Yeah, right.
She had been playing
She had a reason
there
to be there,
for
right?
years.
There you go. She had a reason to be there.
Right.
And like I said, I'm from the Americas, right? I like to smoke weed. I don't know if they got weed in Russia. They have a racism problem they want to talk about when you go over there and you're black.
She said the name was Otto Warm.
When they were trying to get black people to come over there and fight the war, right? They were like, don't be surprised. They don't understand racism. So if they understand racism, right, they don't see black people, right? What was to say in anybody's reasonable motherfucking mind, if she come to play ball, that they got marijuana somewhere? And it's going to be readily accessible for her to smoke and calm her fucking nerves before a game or after a game. She's there with her team, right? And handlers. You surely, human being that smokes weed, that's all three of us right here, right? I want to smoke some weed and calm down, right? Or chill out for a second, get our mind right. You mean to tell me I'm just going to know where I'm going to find that shit as soon as I get off the plane, right? She probably was just doing some old self-fucking thinking on her own. Like, I'm just going to stick this right here. I'm going to put these toiletries right there. Put my clothes right here. Ready to go. Carry on. Passport. Let's do this. You ready? Let's go. Let's do this. And they get detained like that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's an honest mistake. And for them to hold her like that all this motherfucking time, they're not, even if they let her go, they're not going to compensate her. They're not going to apologize to her. They're not going to give her nothing for it. They're going to be like, ta-ta for now. Get the fuck off our fucking Russian soil. Thanks. We got what the fuck we wanted from this white man right here. That's exactly who the fuck we wanted to deal with. Peace out. Good luck establishing some sort of life without the trauma you got to go through after this.
Yeah, you don't see Biden trying to put sanctions on Russia behind this.
Hell nah.
If it was,
Right.
he would have been putting sanctions on Russia like he was putting sanctions on what was that country that had some people detained? Damn, I can't remember the country right now. But it was one of them countries in Europe. He had sanctioned them because they wouldn't release ASAP Rocky. Has Biden spoken publicly about Brittany Griner? Because I've only seen this rep speak about her. Yeah, I don't think he has. I don't think he said.
No, I don't even think the U.S. Congress had even had a meeting about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not getting any kind of media play. If that lakey old lady is the one who's speaking on the motherfucking behalf of her well-being, they fire that person or pass the note to somebody more qualified. It isn't gonna be wiggling around. You know what I mean? It's not gonna look all motherfucking awkward and weird. Right now, she needs like a serious motherfucking voice, like heavy all day, round the clock, make it hard. You know what I mean? Because this shit is unnecessary. And it's not gonna get any better for her. You know what I mean? It's already 4 months in?
Yeah.
4 months in.
And
Time to
she's
get to
facing up to 10
negotiations.
years.
The way white people do negotiations, this could be forever. Unfair shit. You know what I mean? This should be tied up in other shit. Oh, we're sorry. We're gonna put this on the back burner. Put this grader on the back burner. What else we got right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to send in those motherfucking torpedo motherfucking things? You know, you're sending it to that prick over there. Fuck that. Let's not do that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure that you get no motherfucking oil and your gas goes up fucking $3 more by Sunday. Just because you want to play this game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Dream says they'll be celebrating her if she won a gold medal, but they've just thrown her to the wolves now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And she's not getting adequate voice.
Dreams 97. You're right on.
Yes, we understand.
Okay, so
adequate representation at all. Nobody's really angry. That's the whole point. I think that we're so passive about this shit that she'll just sit there because no one is really getting angry about her being there for some old bogus shit. This is bogus. Like, you know what I mean? I want them to have that same motherfucking energy when it comes to somebody else.
Right.
Nobody can seem to have this same energy when it comes to other things, but you know, they're supposed to just sit there and just take it. Carry on.
Become numb to it. So we're down to our last two topics of the night, and that's the Unhoused Neighbor News and the Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps.
All right.
So, Lady Che or Shabaka, whichever one of y'all want to go first.
Yes, sir, absolutely. As we stated here before on our platform many times, you know, the homeless situation is bad, it's redundant, you know, it is a public health crisis. Then you get like the city of Denver and the city of Beverly Hills that ban urban camping, as they call it. It's not urban camping. What it is, it's an individual who is trying to get him some shelter because he does not have no fucking place to go. And it is a damn shame is when these municipalities that come up here, you know, these stupid ass laws to raise revenue, but yet though you don't want to help your homeless population.
Yeah.
See? And I'm talking about any municipality, Los Angeles as well too.
Mm-hmm.
And then from what I'm seeing off of my research, you know, that's coming across my desk here in California, as I stated before, the majority of the people who are homeless here are Black, but yet though we make up less than 20% of the population right here, but we're making up more than 50% of the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
See, so then just off of that logic right there, you would have to say at least 85% of Black people are homeless.
Damn. That's horrible. And here in a high income city, it's no better. The sweeps
Right.
continue. I think we're at like 130, 140 sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Che can elaborate on that, but yeah, Mayor Michael Hancoon continues to do the sweeps week after week, month after month.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been able to make it to the sweeps lately, but they're still going on. And Lady Che has some updates. So, Lady Che.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's just talk about it. Sweeps do continue to happen, but we didn't get no notice this week on where they were because the Stanley Cup was in our city. Denver won the Stanley Cup. So the white folks were tearing up the city.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the games and any kind of event that happens, all the areas that the unhoused frequent David was over there, like right there by the stadium where the Avs were playing their games. Like Juneteenth was in historic 5 Points. There's always unhoused people. For example, 5 years I was right there, unhoused in 5 Points. Curtis Park, the Triangle, in that area. So they moved them and they shift them somewhere, and no one knows where they go until you go out and actually go look for them. But during this last week, we had how many games for the Stanley Cup in that week that just passed?
2.
2 games, right? 2 games, and that was with the final game, right?
Yes.
2 games. And then when they won, the city got tore up by all the white folks, but they don't talk about it for like 30 seconds on the news. But the video footage was compelling. I mean, like the white people just throw all kind of furniture and shit, start trying to create bonfires, lighting fireworks in front of the police, in front of the riot police, and the news said that was tactical. That was just tactical. That's part of their tactics of how they were going to deal with it. The whole fucking city was flooded with white people.
Yeah,
Flooded.
They had a big ass parade on Thursday.
And they had the parade, and that took up a lot of the unhoused people were nowhere to be found because what the city likes to do is hide its shame, and the shame is the unhoused and the peril that the people are in. That's all I want to say. The peril the people are in. So they hide them. They throw them in jail. They arrest them. They shift them to the other side of town. We heard that, or we were reading that they were shifting them off to different parts of the city, and now other parts are sending them right back to Denver. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Douglas County just?
Yeah.
Yeah, sending right back here on the bus. You know, they don't have a homeless section to deal with them, so they're sending right back here, where Denver trying to get rid of them and hide them, so all these touristy dollars can come up and, Michael Hancock just act like he's the man of the city and whatnot. He's got we did this, we won the Stanley Cup, we had a nice Juneteenth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's all bullshit, at the end of the day. So, no sweeps. We are going to one on Tuesday because that's finally when they picked back up on the mailing list. They just weren't sending nobody out any notices for the week of the Avs games. Kind of suspect. However, we did participate in city council, right, Jesse?
Yep.
Participated in city council. And where I think I spoke this week. I think I missed it, but
no, you didn't speak this week.
This week was pretty heavy, so we were actively just staying and watching right now because a lot of people have been going to jail, and we've been really worried about that, considering that at least one of them is our family. Like, so we've been kind of concerned about that. And I don't think that's about it, really. I think we're just gonna. I don't know. I tried to test the waters with this one service provider, or this one. They're not Denver Homeless Out Loud now, right?
Yeah, House Keys Action Network, Denver.
So we had to test the waters and go to one of their little events. I'm hoping
They had an event today.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I could go. Right now with the Justice Campaign and shit, it's gonna be it's kind of hard this week. Hopefully everything for me, which I'm praying will work itself out by Tuesday. So, and then it's on and cracking. You can't really stop me from being anywhere. So let's just pray. Let's just pray till they reach it. I can get moving again because I feel like the city owes me a power chair, and I'm gonna write that letter sometime this evening. But like they owe me that. They destroyed my shit, and they kept me locked in this spot because their streets, the streets of Denver, is fucking horrible. There's no sidewalks. Everything's just pothole after pothole after pothole, and people. It's just reckless. But it's like cobblestone everywhere. It's just broken up street. It's very dangerous. But they have the audacity to build monumental fucking skyscrapers and not house unhoused people, and then not fix their streets so bike riders, pedestrians get hurt walking on the sidewalk, where they removed the tents and replaced them with these gigantic ass boulders and troughs. So if you're walking and say you're an elderly person or you're walking with a small child like 2-3 years old, they stumble on their feet, you're walking in dress shoes, you strip, bam, there you go. Broke your head wide open. You know what I mean? We've been saying that for years. They don't seem to care. So when this new administration comes in, hopefully we can remove that. Because that right there is a blight on the city. This city used to be full of trees and it was a lot greener, lusher. It is just heavy, hot concrete, steel, and metal, and everybody's upset. And there's just, it's just, I can't even believe it. Like, I spent most of my life here from California, so I remember what it was like when we got here, and I remember what it's like now, and I remember all my time on the street. So I've seen everything from the change from when it was pretty to now. It's just horrible, and they only really have them to blame. You know, they want to blame the people for this shit, but ultimately it's the government.
The government.
It's the government. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, little eyeballs, for watching and tuning in this long. We appreciate you. Join us on Monday for our special on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. On Monday instead of Tuesday, we'll probably do something on Tuesday too, just because we need to fill in that block of time just for my sake, because it's throwing me off my schedule. Join me for the RVA a little later on in today. I'm gonna do something on the RVA, so a little bit more in depth. I feel like I have questions. I like to dig deep. So I'm on the revolutionary agenda later on, and always Saturdays at 10 for Front Line Blacc News, where we hear bringing heavy topics and dialogue. Always stay black, stay dangerous, and look out for each other. And it's the 4th, so coming up, so you know these people don't got no sense. As you can hear outside my window, it's been cracking off, and it's now Sunday, so it's only gonna get worse. So try to stay away from them and do something private. You know what I mean? Do little small things, because they cannot be controlled. And I'm gonna show you plenty of video from the Avs game where they were tossing mad furniture from restaurants and breaking off signs and hanging on posts and lighting off fireworks in the middle of people. You know, they just out of control.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dreams97.
What you say?
Subscribe. I'm gonna let my fam know about your channel.
Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Peace out. Go ahead, Jesse.
Shabaka, what are your final words?
My final words on that, man. I kind of like dozed off to sleep. Forgive me, okay, but These are some very, very interesting, tumultuous times, even more so, and they're getting worse and worse by the day. And like I said, we cannot emphasize it enough. We got to have the tangibles, 2022, $100 trillion in tangibles where we could build our own infrastructures or start building our own infrastructures, changing the educational curriculum of what our youth attend, get them out this mainstream educational crap. It's got all these genders confused and what have you, 3, 4, 5, 16 different genders. Come on, man. Homeschool the youth. Build for ourselves. You see? And all we got is each other, Black family. And definitely, check us out on our like page on Facebook, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. That day gives you all our updated information for our upcoming presentations and shows. This is Shabaka Sancourt for Frontline Black News.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Shabaka.
All right. Thank you for having me. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's a Black Power. Thank you, family. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
All right, yes. So yes, this has been season 2, episode 16 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe, as some of your viewers have already done, to the Frontline Black News YouTube and Facebook page, and also like and subscribe to the Revolutionary Agenda. Also, check us out on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter. Shabaka EXP at Twitter. And we will see you next week. Peace, love, light, and Black empowerment. Peace.